Zucchini are delicious, eggplants are delicious, but when you cook them together they are double delicious. And of course if you coat them in eggs and breadcrumbs, they become amazing. It's a vegetarian dish, it can be adapted for meat eaters, I'll tell you when. And if you take a look, I'm slicing my vegetables diagonally, anything between half a centimeter to a centimeter. Couple of eggs. I'll quickly beat them using a fork for about 10 to 15 seconds. And I'll mix them all together to ensure that every piece of zucchini and eggplant has got a good coating of my egg. Here I've got some breadcrumbs, and they've been mixed with some Grana Padano. Also there is some parsley in there, there is a little chili pepper, salt and pepper, and that is pretty much it. And I'll pour everything inside, and this is one of the attributes of this recipe, because it's really simple. So I'm not going to mess about and individually dip each piece of vegetable with my breadcrumbs, just mix them all together. Couple of oven trays, and I'll start distributing all of my vegetables inside there. I'm now adding a little olive oil on top of all of my vegetables. Very simple, very quick. They'll go in the oven for 20 minutes, temperature of 200 degrees. I just opened a couple of tins of chopped tomatoes. They weigh 400 grams each, so 800 combined. I'll place them inside the same glass bowl, no need to mess something else. Here I've got also some basil, a few fresh basil leaves. I'll add them in, and I've got my salt and pepper. There we go. Quantities to taste as always. I'm now removing the peel from a couple of cloves of garlic, and I'm going to use my garlic crusher to crush them in. I've got a little blender here, and I'll go in and blend everything together next. Something like this. I'll end up with something which looks more like a passata, but this is thicker than passata, of course. That's why I'm using the tin tomatoes. And I'll finish my sauce by applying a little olive oil. If you fancy the meat eaters version, you want to keep it really simple, just add ham, cooked ham. However, the vegetarian version, which is cooking today, is also really delicious. So unless you really fancy the meat eaters, give this a shot. This is really nice. You just saw me grating some Grana Padano, and I'm not doing the same with some mozzarella. I'm doing a couple of balls of mozzarella as I'm making a large batch. And also I will have a third cheese. Here is some ricotta, 250 grams. Okay, time is up. Here are my vegetables. They're obviously really hot at the moment, but that is what you should get, something like this. They're lovely and crispy. Don't worry if they are only crispy on the top, because they will be layered. So time to start layering my Parmigiana. And I'll start by applying a little tomato at the bottom of my dish, not a lot, just enough to cover the surface. And I'm now completing the first layer, alternating one slice of eggplant with one slice of zucchini, so that I get that blend of flavors. So that is pretty much done. A little bit more of my sauce on top of all of my vegetables before I continue. I'm going to make a couple of layers, so I'll put half of each type of cheese in each layer. So that was my mozzarella, this is my grana. And using a teaspoon to ensure that I apply equal amounts, I'm now doing the same with my ricotta. There you go. A little bit more basil before we continue. So here is the remainder of my sauce. I will just pour it on top of everything. I have done now with my second layer of cheese. It's beginning to look really nice. One little addition of basil at the very top now. And before it goes in the oven, though, where is it? Here, a little olive oil. And once again, it's ready to go in the oven. This time we'll be going in at a temperature of 180 degrees, fan assisted, normal oven up by 20 to 200, another 20 minutes, and then I'll be ready. If you live in Sicily and you are found to eat something like this without bread, you can get in some serious trouble, you know. It's funny how every country has got different cultures. And you can hear the crunchiness of the cheese. This is obviously the Parmesan and the mozzarella. And there we go. Okay. Perfect. Ooh, very nice. But before I go, I'll just put some on top of a piece of bread over here, and I will give you my verdict. I would tell you if it wasn't very nice. Hopefully you do realize that. I'm not sure why I'm blowing, because it's cold. Have it. It's absolutely delicious. Thank you for watching. Ciao, ciao.